Hey, welcome back. The last thing that we did was we did some code cleanup. So it went through all of these columns. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Went through testing, and we can call the code cleanup done. We also stored the daily mood, so we can call that one done as well. Take a look at the requirements, make sure we hit it all. We stored it locally, we include the current date, and the mood selection persisted, so that's good. The very next thing we want to do is to add a navigation, but let me take a look at display mood history. So we're going to add some navigation, and then the mood that we stored along with the date, we're going to present it to the user in a new screen. So we're going to add this like history screen, and it could be a list or a calendar, and we just want to display the dates. My idea to do that was to kind of mimic the calendar app. So I know this is blurry, but basically it's just going to present you the month and the year, and user can like tab through it and see these circles. And my idea was like have these circles, the color of the circles be the corresponding to the mood that they have saved for that day. And then I also like eventually want a way for a user to be able to tap these circles and edit it so that if they decided, hey, yesterday, in the beginning of the day, I said that I was feeling unpleasant, but you know what, overall I was feeling neutral, like that they can go in, select it, and edit it, and it would save it in real time. So that's the goal. I don't know how far we're going to get with this video, but let's just start with the first story that we got. All right, so we want to add navigation. How I was thinking about this was to add a tab view. So at the bottom of the screen, we would see different tabs for the different screens that a user can access. And then to include some icons as well. So like it'll have a label, it'll have an icon so that they know where they're going, and they can tap between mood selection and like a history screen pretty easily. And that's the acceptance criteria, is that they can go back and forth between the screens. And yeah, each of the tabs should open up to the screen that they were on. So this is where we left off. And to add a tab view, you want to add it to the root of like the view hierarchy. And right now, when we look at the main app, it's going right to the main selection screen. And we want this to be a tab view, and then within the tab view have the different screens that a user can navigate to. I'm going to kind of do this by just kind of abstracting this out into maybe a main view screen. I don't know if this is the best way, but it's the way I'm going to do it. So let's go ahead and create a new file. So that's going to be Command N. It'll be a Swift file, and we'll call this main view. And that's just going to capture the tab view and all of the subviews within it. All right, so we're going to import SwiftUI. And then this is going to be a struct called main view, and it's going to be a view. And we're going to have a, don't know why I did that. This is going to have a body and a tab view. And inside this tab view, we can navigate to the mood selection screen, I think is what we called it. And we're going to have to add a tab item. I think it's called tab item. Yeah, there we go. Let's just leave it as heart for now and see how we're going to change that later. And then the other thing is going to be like the mood history view. And that'll be a tab item as well. Okay, let's see if history is an actual, I haven't heard of the history image name, but we'll see if it's an actual thing. And so we need to create this mood history view now. So another new screen, and this time let's just do SwiftUI view. And then mood history view. And we'll just say, as a placeholder, mood history. Great. let's build it and see if I made any syntax errors. Ah. I need to actually instantiate these. Now let's try. Okay, great. So now instead of going to mood selection screen, we want to go to this guy, copy it over, go down to mood tracking app and put that in here. And let's give it a run. I knew there was no history. I was like, what? Never heard of that before. Okay, so let's find an actual thing that works. We'll just put in another heart. Let's try that. Okay, cool. That was it. We have a way to navigate between these two, and the remaining requirements are just to make this look a little bit cleaner. I don't like the blue tint. I think I'm just going to tint it black so that it matches the font color. So system image, and I'll put in a new line here. I'm wondering if I could just tint this whole tab view. We'll make this black. Try it again. And I can add the preview so that we can take a look at this. Yeah, great. Let's add a title to these. We're going to replace these images with something called a label, and there is an initializer to label that we can pass in a system image. So we're going to go ahead and do that. This is going to be mood selection, and for system image, I'm going to use this guy. And you can take a look at all of the system images you can choose from using the SF symbols. I believe this is already pre-installed on Macs. If you look for SF symbols, then you can open up this app and take a look at all of the system images you have access to, and you would just use it by calling it like this. So I've picked one for the mood selection. So now it looks like that. And then for history, I think I'm going to use the dot and the slashes. So copy this. And then if you see anything weird, you can select it all and then Control I. Control I will fix the indentation. You don't want Command I because then it builds an analyzer kind of application. All right, so change the image. And then this will say mood history. We'll rerun the canvas. And we see mood selection, mood history. We can select between the two, and this is looking pretty good for the navigation portion. Let's take a look at the requirements that we have here. So we've implemented a tab view. They have icons, and we can seamlessly switch. And let's just check this last acceptance criteria, which is when I close and open the app, it should always open up to that first page. So I'll open up the app, and it always opens up to mood selection. Even if I put it back, close the app, open it again, it's still opening to the first screen. Good, we'll call that one done. Bring it over all the columns, boom. All right, so this says that it needs design. And the reason why I said that was because I didn't know what I was going to make it look like. But I think, like I talked about in the beginning of the video, this is going to be our design. So I think we're good. I'm keeping it off to the side here so I can take a look at it. And you can stop and go back and take a look at the design when you need to. So we're going to put that into doing. And I think this one's going to take quite a while. So it's possible that I might break this out into separate videos. Let's go back to mood history. So let's think about what we need here. The very first thing that we need is I think that this is like two different components. It's how I'm kind of going to think about it. Like we have like a grid, and then we have the top portion, which is going to be like the title. And I want a way for users to swipe between the months. So I'm going to create like an H stack. The month's going to be in the middle, and then I'm going to have two icons on either side for a user to tap forward or backwards. And I do want to display the year as well. So this is going to be a VStack. The VStack is going to be the top of our view here. And I'm going to create something called a header view and something called a grid or calendar view. I'll say calendar view. And then I'll create those in the same file here because I don't expect these to be reused throughout the app. That's why I'll have different files for different screens, but if I have subviews that are only used in that one screen, I'm going to keep those structs within the same file. Create a new struct, and that'll be header view. And in here, I'm going to create an H stack.